I want them to know that we all are social animals and we cannot live without other beings around us. I want them to know that you should live in the present because once it's gone, it's never going to come back. I want them to think about connections, human connections, family connections. Thank you. By asking all of you a question. What does a teenager want? To be alone? Privacy? Well, yes. At some point in my life, I wanted it too. My dear listeners, this is Prushthi Sharma, and today I'm going to talk about how the 14-year-old me wanted to just get away from my family. It all started with a big bang. Corona. I was a 14-year-old when Mother Nature gave us all a surprise and brought the pandemic, COVID-19. A disease that took as many lives as it made. A happy ending for some and a sad one for the others. Mine's a little twisted. So let's take you some back in time. Pre-corona. My father's side of the family decided to give us a visit. Not many, just 20 of them. We were all set to have a good quality summertime and just relax, play games, have fun. But then bang, here comes the lockdown. Everyone was supposed to stay where they were. No one was supposed to go out. All 20 of the members were in my house. Imagine living in a 4 BHK bungalow with 20 other people. I was happy. I was happy that all of them were here. It had anyway been a long time since I had spent some time with them. Our journey for 6 months had started. Hardly had I known it would be so long. Believe me when I say that we had fun in the initial stages. All of us would eat together, play together, have fun, watch old movies. We even watched Ramayana and Mahabharata. Tell me how many of you watched it. So as growing up kids, we were all so happy that there weren't any online classes. We weren't having schools. We were so happy. Freedom. Freedom at last. But then bang, here come online classes. We used to think, what's this? Is this even proper schooling? Are we expected to sit in front of a screen and study? All our questions were answered by our teachers by how strongly and seriously they managed it all. But the problem here was that we were 5 children in a 4 BHK house and there weren't more than two workplaces that we could attend classes at. We used to have huge fights about it. We used to have disputes about how the devices would create noises when we used to attend all those classes. We used to fight about earphones, our headphones, the space that was needed. We used to just fight. It was a good period. We lived happily for 4 months, never fighted, never did anything. But then after 4 months, it was just getting hectic. I wanted to get away from everyone. I wanted to get away from all 20 of them. Not even one of them I wanted with me. I wanted to go at a place that was peaceful, where it would be just me and no one else. My own house was becoming a jail for me. I didn't want to stay there. So after 2 heavy months, lockdown melted. Finally. After 2 heavy months, lockdown melted. And all the people were ready to go. They were allowed to go, in fact, I should say, to their designated places. I was relieved. Relieved that finally there would be lesser people in the house. Just me, my sister, my parents, and my lovely grandparents. But my life decided to introduce another bang here. All of a sudden, we got to know that all of us were corona positive. As soon as everyone left, I was able to breathe, I was able to live, I was corona positive. But there's always an exception. We ate, we slept, we recovered. The exception here was my grandfather. He never really recovered from that horrific disease. It took his life. The lockdown period was a very special period for all of us in my family. We got to spend a lot of time with him. We got to spend a lot of time with each other, and all we can remember now is how we used to live together, how happy my grandfather was to see us all live together. I realized at that point that all I thought about was getting away from my family, just leaving them, because I was frustrated. At that time, I realized what connections are. I now remember those memories and smile at all those little fights, arguments, and all the crazy things that we did together. All I want is for everyone to just sit down, think of the great moments and of the great people that you spent it with. I want them to know that we all are social animals and we cannot live without other beings around us. I want them to know that you should live in the present, because once it's gone, it's never going to come back. I want them to think about connections, human connections, family connections. Thank you.